Now, coming to the another topic, which is moment of resistance. Well, how do we find out moment of resistance of doubly reinforced beam? That is again a very important point, and that is what we are supposed to find out. So till now, the formula, the relations that I have discussed, they were actually related. They will be related to this topic, which is moment of resistance. Now, in case of singly reinforced beam, moment of resistance can be calculated from steel side or concrete side. On the same line, we can find out moment of resistance for doubly reinforced beam, again from the steel side or the concrete side. Now, in case of doubly reinforced beam, moment of resistance is actually the sum of M1 and M2. So we need to understand what is M1 and M2. So using this figure, you can see this figure I have used earlier in my slide. So this M1 and M2. Well, M1 is the moment of resistance of singly reinforced beam balanced section. So there you can see doubly reinforced beam is composed of these two type of model, which is this beam having reinforcement in the tension side only. And when we add compression steel, then to balance them, we also add some extra tension steel. So that becomes the second model. So moment of resistance is due to this second model will be M2, and M1 will be the moment of resistance of singly reinforced beam as a balanced section. So I will elaborate this using this figure also. So there you can see this is the again the transformed section. So in this this is the equivalent area of the steel, and this is the equivalent area of compression steel, and this is the concrete area. So concrete area will, I mean, force in concrete area will be balanced by the force in this tension area, this one. So this diagram belongs to, I mean, this diagram is depicting the stress condition in the singly reinforced beam, and the second diagram is depicting the condition of this M2. So this arrow is showing the compressive force C2. C2 in the C2 is the compressive force in the compression steel, and T2 it is showing the tension force to balance this compression force. Similarly, T1 is because of the AST1, and T2 is again responsible due to the AST2 value. So finding AST1 value and AST2 value in case of analytical problem, it is a little difficult. So that is why most of the time we find out moment of resistance in terms of concrete, I mean in concrete side. But anyways, that is that is not the point here I am discussing. So basically, moment of resistance of doubly reinforced beam will be the sum of M1 and M2. So we will see how do we find out M1 and how do we find out M2. Now, I have already discussed this, so you can pause it to read it. So now I will discuss how do we find out M1 value first. So M1 is the moment of resistance of the similar balanced section without compression steel, which is, I mean, this M1 will be moment of resistance of the singly reinforced beam for as a balanced section. So now M2 is basically the additional moment of resistance provided by the compression steel. So the compression steel that we have added in this, so this compression steel that we have added increase the moment of resistance. So that increased moment of resistance we are representing as M2. So we will see that later. How do we find out that? First we will see how do we find out M1. Well, M1 formula will be similar formula that we have used in case of singly reinforced beam balance section. So that you can see M1 is calculated as C into Z, and there C1 is actually compressive force resisted by, I mean compressive force by the concrete. So there you can see this is the concrete, sorry, this is the concrete area which is resisting the compressive force, and this is the equivalent area which is in place of compression steel. But actually there will be a compression steel, so it will experience other force, so say C2, and this concrete area will experience the C1 force, which is compressive force. So both compressive steel and this concrete will experience compression force, and I am representing that as C1 and C2. So M1, to calculate the value of M1, we will take the value of C1, and here also, as you know, M into AST. So we know that AST is the sum of AST1 and AST2. So that is why we are using the compression force only, because it is very difficult to distinguish AST1 and AST2 from this area. So that is why we are going to find out moment of resistance from the concrete side only. So concrete side means we are finding the force. I hope you understand, you remember that MR can be calculated from the concrete side. In that case, it will become C into Z, and from the steel side it will become T into Z. I hope you remember this relation. So I am using this relation to find out the value of M1. So this one, this time C is actually the C1, which is compressive force by the concrete. So that becomes the formula. So C is average stress multiplied by the area. So stress into area becomes compressive force multiplied by the lever arm. Lever arm. So I hope you remember, this is the same formula that we have used for singly reinforced beam as a balanced section, or in other words we call it RBD square. So that is the value of M1. Now we will see how do we find out value of M2. Now M2 is C2. So now I'm representing. Now I'm elaborating this diagram here. Well, there is compressive stress and there is tension stress. So I'm writing here this as AST2. Just focus on this model only, and this is actually ASC. Okay. Now this ASC will experience some force which we are calling C2, and this AST2 will also experience some force which we are calling as T2. Okay. So this is the compressive force and this is the tension force. So both of these two forces will be equal and there will be a distance between them. So this becomes unlike parallel force and they are actually creating the couple. So the magnitude of the couple will be the moment of resistance of this M2 model. So either we multiply C2 by this distance. So this distance will be D minus D dash. So either we multiply C2 into D minus D dash or T2 multiplied by D minus D dash. We can get the value of M2. The same concept we have used in case of singly reinforced moment of resistance. The same concept we are using here. Why? Because we have provided compression steel here this time. So as I said that this T2 calculation will be very difficult because it is very difficult to distinguish AST1 and AST2. So generally most of the time what we do is we calculate from this side, which is C2 multiplied by D minus D dash. So this C2 is the force in the compressive steel. So force is stress into area. Now C2 will be equivalent area of the compression steel in terms of concrete multiplied by equivalent flexural compressive stress. So this equivalent area we can write as here as 1.5 M minus 1 into ASC. So this becomes the equivalent area of compression steel in terms of concrete multiplied by equivalent flexural compressive stress. So this becomes FCBC dash. So that becomes the C2 value. And when we multiply this with d minus d dash, we can easily find out M2 value. So I have written here 1.5 M minus 1 into ASC into FSC by 1.5 M. So I hope you remember that this is actually equals to FCBC dash. So which is equivalent flexural compressive stress. So now M2, we can calculate M2 value with this. So now to calculate the moment of resistance of the doubly reinforced beam, we have find the expression for M1 and M2 both. So total moment of resistance in this case will be this one. So this value, sorry, up to this value it is M1 and this value is M2. Or in other word, we can replace this value as FCBC dash. Also, we can find out, we can use these relation also to find out the value of FSC, FCBC or FST. So with this relation, I hope you remember, this is actually the expression of similar triangle property. So using the stress diagram, we have explained, we have seen this in the singly reinforced beam case also. So that is why I have provided the direct formula here. And using this formula, we can find out the value of FSC. Using this formula, we can find out the value of FST. So I have already discussed in earlier in this part already. So that is the method that how we find out the moment of resistance. Now, there are some steps that are involved to calculate the moment of resistance of doubly reinforced beam. So what are those steps? So first step is finding the actual depth of neutral axis and the critical depth of neutral axis, or we can find out the neutral axis depth factor. So we can either we find out n or x value, and then we will compare this with the x naught, XCR value. So this n naught belongs to XCR. XCR is basically n naught into d. Similarly, x is to be calculated. I have already discussed. So first we will find out x value, and then we can find out the n value by using this relation x by d. Then we can find out n naught value. N naught is basically the neutral axis coefficient, and the formula for this n naught is m into sigma CBC upon m into sigma CBC plus sigma ST. So using this relation, we can find out n naught, and then we can compare them to find out whether the section is under reinforced, over reinforced, or a balanced section. So based on that, we use the moment of resistance formula. Or what we can do is we can find out x value and XCR value, and then we can compare them again. So if the value of x is more than XCR, then it is over reinforced section. If the value of x is less than XCR, it is under reinforced section. I think you understand this. The same I have already discussed in my previous lectures, so you can refer to that. Now, when the value of x, n is less than n naught, or x is less than XCR, then in that case, the section will be under reinforced, and in under reinforced section, tension steel reaches permissible stress first, and in that case FST will become sigma ST. Similarly, in this case FCBC will be equals to this one. Now in the next step, if and how do we find which formula we will use in this case? The formula that we will use in this case will be this one. There you can see this one, and this formula I'm showing from this one, this thing. Sorry. Sorry, as I said in earlier case also that distinguishing AST1 and AST2 will be very difficult. So what we do is, whenever there will be, I mean, if we have under reinforced section or over reinforced section, we always try to find out uh, the stresses in terms of concrete. Like in case of this case, like X is less than XCR. In that case, the section will be under reinforced, and in under reinforced section, the FST value, which is actual stress in the steel, will be equals to the permissible stress in the steel at this point. And also, when steel will reach permissible stress, concrete will not reach its permissible stress. It will be less than permissible stress. And how do we find out actual stress in concrete at that time? So using the similar triangle property, we can find out the, we can find out the actual stress in concrete in case of under reinforced section. So like in case of singly reinforced beam, we used to calculate moment of resistance from steel side in a singly reinforced beam. In case of doubly reinforced beam, we will use FCBC value or sigma CBC value for both case, whether it is singly reinforced, sorry, it is under reinforced section or balanced section or over reinforced section. So like this time, if the section is under reinforced, then you may be aware of this formula also. This time we are going to find out FCBC value, and also at the same time here also. So in the same point, we will find out first actual flexural compressive stress, and then we will use the same stress to calculate the M2 value and M1 value. Well, we will be more, we will have more clear idea about it when we will solve the problem, a design problem about it. Similarly, if there are over reinforced section, in case of over reinforced section, concrete will reach its permissible value first. So in that case, FCBC value will be sigma CBC, while uh, FST value will be less than sigma ST value, which means actual stress in steel will be less than the permissible stress in steel, while the actual stress in concrete will be equals to sigma CBC. So that is the condition when the section will become over reinforced section. So when n is greater than or equals to n naught, or in other word we can say when x is greater than or equals to XCR, then the section will become over reinforced. If it is equals to XCR, then it will be balanced. If it is more than XCR, it will be over reinforced. So in both case, FCBC will be equals to sigma CBC. And in that case, the formula that we will use to calculate a moment of resistance, it will be this one, which is, so this time we have used the permissible stress, because this time the actual stress in concrete is equivalent to permissible stress, and also the stress at the level of steel, we have calculated that in this term. Okay, so these are the steps. So we will continue our discussion in the next part. Thank you.